Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Recap. NWA back for the Attack 2021 took place yesterday afternoon. Very good pay-per-view, in my opinion. Surprised to see it only last about 2 hours, so they were in full gear, so to speak, to be off the air by the time the WB started up. But they look good. A lot of good matches. 6 matches in total on the show itself. Some surprises. Some new additions, so to speak. But all in all, as a wrestling fan, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So NWA Back for the Attack 2021 took place GPB Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. And commentary team was the one and only Joe Galley, as well as Tim Storm. And right away, you could hear live fans can be heard shouting and cheering. And I was kind of a little bit confused. I was like, is this real or is it... is it sound bites coming in? But no, sure enough, it was real. And, there were fans there in attendance, kind of in a darkened out section of the studios. But at one point you could see them. But they were very loud and made for some good television, some good pay-per-view television, so to speak. So anyways, podium interview starts off the show. Kyle Davis and Nick Aldis. Aldis comes out, dressed to the nine, so to speak, championship belt alongside him. And the promo that he cut with regards to Aaron Stevens, as well as Josephus, the one and only Joseph Hudson, kind of gave me goosebumps, and it was a good promo. He is one of the best promo men in the business as far as I'm concerned, that being Nick Aldis. And like I said in the prediction show, he carries himself like a champion. He looks like a champion. He's easily up there, top 5. In my opinion, as far as NWA champions of all time, and that is my opinion right there. But anyways, he is the NWA, and it was good to see him starting out the show there. Match number 1, 4-way match: Crimson taking on Jax Dane, taking on Jordan Clearwater, taking on Slice Boogie. NWA debut for Slice Boogie, and the interesting thing as well. And I don't think I ever got to see any of the UWN stuff, but I remember when the NWA started doing their YouTube series, one of the big things about them on YouTube was the fact there was no entrance music. So that's one of the things I noticed right away. I don't know when they have changed that up, if it was yesterday afternoon, but the fact is they had entrance music going on yesterday. So like I said, wrestlers coming out to theme music. Slice Boogie was the first one out. Like I said, he looks like Eddie Kingston, only 25 years old, though, a young guy, but, he's, I think, has a prominent future there in the NWA. Watching the entrances made me realize how much I miss live wrestling. So here in London, we had this independent company that used to run called Smash Wrestling. And, it's in London here, we have a venue called London Music Hall. And when you're there and you're that close to the action and the fans and just the way the NWA was set up yesterday afternoon made me realize how much I missed independent wrestling, specifically Smash Wrestling at the London Music Hall. So I just want to make a note of that there. Started working together mid-match. And, it was expected as a 4-way match. So basically, 2 young guys and then War Kings obviously in there as well. And anyways, like I said, they started working together mid-match. Not a very long match, but in the end, Clearwater hits his finisher, I forget what the name of it was, on Jax Dane, and eliminates him from the ring there. So both him and Crimson are outside the ring at this point. So it's Boogie, Slice Boogie, as well as Jordan Clearwater in the ring at the very end. And Boogie hits the dead ass driver as his finisher and on Clearwater to win the match. So pretty good opening match there. And like I said, we did see War Kings, sit there and work together. Backstage promo happens. It's May Valentine. Not a big fan of hers. I don't know if she has an accent. She just, something about her, just maybe it was nervousness. I don't know, but I don't think she's a good backstage promo person. But that's just my personal opinion there. But it was her and Sal Renoro, and it was the first promo of the night, so to speak, backstage. Match number 2, Kratos. And so not J.R. Kratos. He is JR Kratos, but not going by JR Kratos. But Kratos, one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions, taking on the Great American Smash. I didn't know this was one of his nicknames, but the Great American Smash, otherwise known as Tyrus. And I looked this up because I was curious. NWA debut for Tyrus, who's 48 years old. Kratos comes out first, 38 years old. So 10 years difference between the two of them, but they're both kind of up there. But Tyrus still is able to move for a big man, especially pushing 50 there. Tyrus enters, and the comments I put beside this was grumpy old man just woken up entrance. So basically, he looked like he was like, had fallen asleep on a couch, and all of a sudden somebody woke him up, said, "Hey, you got a match to go to," and that's the way he came out. Heads to the podium, complains he wasn't offered an interview before the match. Says he's making his debut. He should have been offered an interview, and then heads to the ring. So complaining already. Kratos looks small compared to Tyrus. I mean, a lot of people look small compared to Tyrus, but Kratos is a big man as well. But yeah, he looks small compared to Tyrus there. Kratos with his left elbow taped up. Commentators had made note of that as well. So Kratos at one point ends up selling it, which I'll get into here. Someone in the crowd goes, "Come on, Kratos, he ain't even that big." So it was pretty interesting to hear some of the comments come from the crowds. I'm sure the local workers, whatever the case may be. But the fact is, a comment made me laugh. Final moments of the match, Tyrus misses a second rope elbow drop. Kratos with the offense. Second rope clothesline. Kratos sells his arm. Both men are down, both back up. Tyrus hits the avalanche in the corner, and then Tyrus with a huge running elbow drop for the 3 count there. So Tyrus picks up the win, and he looked good. And commentators were making note the fact that he just beat one half of the World Tag Team Champions. So we'll have to wait and see what happens post-event here. Backstage promo now, May Valentine this time with Trevor Murdoch, which leads into match number 3 of the night. So the NWA World Television Championship match, which was, I thought it was Murdoch, but nope, he's further down the line. So match number 3, funny thing about Murdoch, I will say as well with regards to his promo. So he's cutting his promo, hat's on forwards, and the next thing you know, hat flips around. And there's one guy, Cody Jenner, Impact Wrestling, used to do the same thing on the independent scene. So it's all of a sudden you knew when he was going to get serious, he'd flip that hat around, and then next thing you know, it's like all serious nature at that point. But good to see Trevor Murdoch, like I said, backstage. But like I said, match number 3, NWA World Television Championship match. Pope as champ taking on Tom Latimer. TV time limit, I didn't realize this, is now 10 minutes and 5 seconds as opposed to the 6 minutes and 5 seconds that they used to have. Latimer out first. Ref stays masked. And when I say masked, I'm talking like the face mask because of the pandemic. I don't think the first 2 refs had it though. So, but this one guy, he ended up reffing another match, so he decided to keep the mask on during the match. So, to each their own. Remaining match time is on the screen, so you can see the countdown timer as the match is taking place there. Latimer with a huge power wear down game early on. He ends up dominating for the very first 4 minutes. Joe Galli makes a mistake. He references with 6:05 remaining that this is where the match would have normally ended. And I put no, Joe, no. But no, it's, anyways, it's still good to have him back on TV. Pope with a comeback, back suplex into the turnbuckles, continued offense. Latimer with a comeback with 3 minutes remaining. Latimer heads to the top. Pope with a superplex. Crowd, this is awesome. Pope going to hit a flying elbow. Latimer rolls. Pope hits it anyways. So basically, Pope's up top. Latimer, seemingly looks like he's rolling away from the move, but Pope ends up hitting it just a further distance there. Latimer. Come back with a huge power bomb with 1 minute remaining. Back and forth offense. Time expires, and then they continue to battle past the bell. So Pope is still television champion, and he goes for the handshake attempt after the match. But Latimer leaves the ring. So be that as it may. Backstage promo this time. May Hudson, Aaron Stevens. Stevens ends up name dropping Hudson's son and ends up being choked up. And then all of a sudden continues with this promo against Aldo's there. Then we see the one and only Taryn Tyrell join commentary. So not a big fan of her on commentary, I tell you that much. She I'll get into it here. So match number 4, NWA World Women's Championship #1 contenders match. Thunder Rosa taking on Camille. Camille comes out first. It looks like an absolute beast. And you kind of miss the presence of Camille and just how, in phenomenal shape she is. But yeah, man, nobody else is in the ring but the referee, and she just looks like a beast. And that's Camille for you. Joe Galli references that Deeb is nursing an injury at the moment. So NWA Current world women's champion Serena Deeb is nursing, I think, an arm injury. So that's why she hasn't been in matches, so to speak. Taryn states that Rosa has broken her arm in the past. We have a power versus speed submission match. Camille yells at Galley early on, so no fans in attendance. The GPB studio is set up the way it normally is, and all of a sudden you see Camille just look over at Galley and start yelling at him, and it was kind of comical there. Rosa with a cross arm breaker into a triangle. Camille powers out. Rosa in the corner, 3-point stance. Charge misses and then ends up in the post, and man, she hit that post hard. Action outside, back and forth. Camille into the post. Rosa follows up with a bow and arrow around the post. So yeah, she's got Camille this way around the post, and she ends up hitting the bow and arrow on her, which was kind of insane. But it's Camille, right? And she, like I said, she's a beast. Back in the ring, Camille dominates with power. Rosa back into it. Submission moves. Camille back with her power. Rosa with a submission. Taryn horrible on commentary. I put. She sounds like she's somebody from the WB Divas era. And to me, if with the NWA and 2021 wrestling, I don't want to hear that ditzy blonde, so to speak, on commentary. And that's what she sounded like. And anyways, leave it at that. Power versus speed. Submission continues. Rosa with the backstabber with a 2 count. Rosa ends up then with the coup de grace attempt, misses Camille with a spear, no cover, and then she puts the exclamation mark on it, hits it with another spear, and then she gets to the 3 count. So she looked absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, she's a beast, and a beast in a good way. I mean, she's jacked. And, I can't wait, like I said in the prediction show, to see her going up against Serena Deeb, because she's going to end up destroying her and become a new women's champion there. So that is my pick for the next NWA pay-per-view, so to speak. Backstage promo again, May Valentine, Austin Idol. Yes, the one and only Austin Idol. And so he'll play more into the event tonight, or sorry, yesterday afternoon. But anyways, yeah, Austin Idol's in the building. Match number 5 night, NWA National Heavyweight Championship match. Trevor Murdoch taking on Chris Adonis. Murdoch obviously champ. NWA debut for Chris Adonis. Adonis comes out first. Murdoch giving Tyrus a run for the grumpy old man entrance of the night. So guys, if you didn't see the show, and just go back and watch the entrances of Tyrus and Trevor Murdoch. They basically, like I said, look like they fell asleep on the couch. Somebody woke them up and said, "Hey, you got a match," and they come to the ring grumpy. So, like I said, Tyrus as well as Murdoch. It's Country Strong versus Jim Strong. I put basically, anybody who's seen Trevor Murdoch wrestle just knows he's just powerful. And then obviously anybody who's seen Chris Adonis, Chris Masters wrestle knows he just looks like the number one guy who's at the gym all the time. Ends up being a back and forth match. Flying Bulldog attempt by Murdoch. He ends up missing. Adonis capitalizes. Murdoch with a comeback top rope crossbody from Murdoch. Looked absolutely insane watching him fly off the top rope like that. 2 count. Adonis master lock attempt blocked by Murdoch. Murdoch then with a roll up ends up getting the 3 count. So a quick, good match, but it's kind of Murdoch out of nowhere with a roll up, and like I said, he ends up getting a 3 count there. So post match, respect handshake. Adonis attacks him from behind. The refs attempt to break it up. Full Nelson slam to Murdoch. Austin Idol seen in the background head to commentary, so we obviously know why Austin Idol's in the building. Adonis with a master lock. Murdoch is out. Adonis drops the title on Murdoch. Security hits the ring, and then Adonis leaves. So heel turn in his NWA debut for Chris Adonis there. Austin Idol officially joins commentary, cuts a promo on Nick Aldis. 10-bell salute for those lost by the NWA, including Josephus, Joseph Hudson, of course, and then Jim Crockett Jr., who were both name dropped there. Match number 6 of the night, NWA World Heavyweight Championship match dedicated to Joseph Josephus Hudson, a.k.a. the question mark. So Aldis versus Stevens. Nick Aldis is champ against Aaron Stevens, who is one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions. Stevens enters first. Aldis comes out next. Official championship match intro. So no announcements, both guys in the ring. The announcer does the official entrances, and they announce that Aldis has been champion for 882 days. That's insane. Lots of reference and tribute to Joseph Hudson, of course. I put down, and this is interesting here, Austin Idol has a very similar voice to Arn Anderson, and he does on commentary, which was kind of give it an old school NWA feel as well. Back and forth in the beginning, good wrestling, aggressive. Idol references that they're wrestling. Idol references that they're wrestling, as in National Wrestling Alliance, and that was actual a quote there. Match heads outside, Aldous with the advantage. Match back inside, Aldous schooling Stevens. Comeback by Stevens. Let's go, Stevens. Let's go. Aldous chants taking place. Back and forth, a kneeling DDT by Stevens with the 2 count. Figure 4 attempt by Aldous blocked. Stevens then with the Las Vegas leg lock, and that's what apparently Austin Idol used to call his move, was the Las Vegas leg lock. So not the figure 4 leg lock, but the Las Vegas leg lock there. Aldous reverses rope break by Stevens. Michinoku driver by Aldous with a 2 count. Superplex by Steven. Both men down. Fight forever chant happens by the crowd. Stevens with another superplex attempt blocked. Flying elbow by Aldous, 2 count. Aldous trash talking discus elbow by Stevens for a 2 count. Stevens drops the knee pad, second rope, blocked by Aldous though. Aldous with the King's Lind cloverleaf, center of the ring. Stevens to the rope, dumps him outside, dumps himself outside. So Stevens hits the ropes and then wants even more of a break, so he rolls to the outside there. Fight outside. Aldous ends up going into the podium. Aldous back in. Stevens in at 9. Arm DDT by Stevens into a crossface. Aldous is in the ropes. Aldous roll up attempt. Stevens with a crossface again. Aldous to the ropes. It looked at this point we could have a new NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, but a match continues. Inside cradle back and forth. Aldous gets the advantage and then ends up getting the 3 count. And post-match, Stevens clutches a question mark mask in his corner. Aldous tells him to stand up, and he shakes his hand. Then we do thank you, Joseph chant, NWA roster, and the flag enter the ring. Salute to Joseph, question mark chant, and then the show ends. So very good show. Started out with goosebumps for Nick Aldis in that promo all the way through to the end, where all of a sudden they're saluting the question mark Joseph Hudson, and it was a good show. Just felt wholesome, And anyways, that the promo, no, not the promo, but the picture you saw in the entrance there was the very end of the show. There, I just kind of did some magic as far as some filters and everything else goes. But NWA yellow, of course, that's how I want to do it up. Yeah, it was a very good show, very wholesome show. Again, nice to see the NWA back, on pay-per-view, back in general, and then they are back with Power tomorrow on Fight. So it's looks like a promising partnership between NWA and Fight. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to watching NWA on Tuesdays, and can't wait for the next pay-per-view for the NWA here. So as I always do, every recap show, I do match of the night and wrestler of the night. Match of the night has to go to this: Nick Aldis versus Aaron Stevens. It's to me, it got to a point where all of a sudden it looked like Stevens could have taken that championship. A very good towards the end of the match, and making you believe that Stevens had his shot. And then the way the show ended was pretty cool as well. But Aldis versus Stevens is my match of the night there. And then wrestler of the night, hard to argue with this here, Camille. I mean, she looked powerful. She looked strong. She looked, like she's ready for that championship there. So you really can't say much at all about Camille and where she's going, and being the face of the women's division there for the NWA. I think it's going to be absolutely cool there. So guys, that is it. At Chris Maloney, CWN. Follow me on social media. This is the first of the recap shows for the day. Second one will take place, premiere as well on YouTube as well as Facebook, with regards to WB Fastlane 2021 that took place last night as well. But this was the recap show for the NWA back for the attack. Sorry, it was back for the attack is what I want to say. Yes. See, I'm getting all. I never have to do 2 recap shows in the same day. But NWA Back for the Attack 2021, which took place yesterday afternoon. And like I said, WB Fastlane coming up later today, premiere-wise, for the recap show there as well. But that is it. I'm done jumbling my words. But like I said, at Chris Maloney, that's at Chris Maloney CWN. Follow me on social media. But look for the second recap show later today. So guys, that's it. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Subscribe, hit the like buttons, all that jazz. And we'll see you again later this afternoon. All right. Thanks. Take care.